Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work on the first one with you. So it says calculate the percent composition of H2SO4. Okay, so what we have to do first is, our first step is to go ahead and separate all the elements from the compound. All right, once you have that, what you're going to do is, since we have hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen, we're going to go ahead and identify how many moles you have of each element. So for example, you have 2 moles of hydrogen, 1 mole of sulfur, and 4 moles of oxygen. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so now once you went ahead and put the number of moles, what you're going to do now is you're going to multiply each individual element, the number of moles, by the atomic mass on the periodic table. So for example, for hydrogen, if we look it up, it's going to be 1.008. For sulfur, if we look that up, it's going to be 32.066. And then for oxygen, it's going to be 15.999. Okay, so now that we got each of these masses from the periodic table, you're going to take that number, that 2, and multiply it by the mass of hydrogen, 1 by the mass of sulfur, and 4 by the mass of oxygen. All right, so after we multiply, these are the numbers that we get. So these are the individual masses for every element on this compound. Okay, so now last step for a molar mass would be to add them all up. All right, so the total mass or molar mass for H2SO4 is 98.078. But because we're going to find the percent composition of each element, we're going to go ahead and divide each individual mass by that molar mass. So 2.016 divided by 98.078, 32.06 divided by this number, and 63.996 divided by this number. Okay, because it's not going to be enough for you just to divide by the molar mass, we need to go ahead and also multiply by 100 to make it a percent. Otherwise, we're going to get these small decimal numbers. So again, we're going to go ahead and add to this calculation times 100 for each one. Okay, so working on that first one, it's going to be 2.016 divided by 98.078. That's going to give me 0.02. So see, if we didn't multiply it by 100, that wouldn't give us a percent. So we got to multiply by 100, and we get 2.055. So we're going to round to the nearest hundred, so it's going to be 2.06, because a 5 will round that 5 to a 6. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do the rest. 32.066 divided by this times 100, 63.996 divided by this times 100. Alright, so once I do the calculations, this is what I'm going to get for each one. These are essentially my answers. Now if I wanted to check the answer, or all the answers, and make sure that they're correct, when I add them up, they should be equal to 100%, and that's what I'm going to do. So 2.06 plus 32.69 plus 65.25. Okay, and as you can see, it's 100, so it's good to go. And that's how you do percent composition.